Where to, like right over here? This looks like a good spot. So Danny and I had to leave the gym because there was a forklift that kept beeping.
And your mid back and your shoulders. Stick directly overhead. We are going into side lunge, one leg.
And I have a really, really short temper. And I was about to sock a random forklift driver in the face. Just kidding. No, I'm not. We've never really filmed outside, but today's the day, so here we go. First things first, we're going over the pass-through. You can either have a tight or a loose grip, depending on how mobile your shoulders and elbows are. It's very simple. You're just gonna bring that PVC pipe from belt to belt, front side of your belt to the back side, high part of your butt, while keeping the elbows straight. If your elbows have to bend to get overhead, you probably need to lengthen out your arms a little bit more. So PVC pipe pass through, okay? The second part of this that's gonna bleed into the second movement is the around the world, okay? So now we're just opening up, kind of creating a window here, and then up and over, and getting some rotation in our shoulders. Doesn't matter how many times you go around. I'd say anywhere from 5 to 10, however many rotations you feel like you need to get those shoulders moving and get the rotation that you're looking for. Next thing we're taking a look at, guys, is a classic overhead squat. So ideally where you want the PVC pipe sitting is around your belt line, and then you're gonna go into an overhead position, a small external rotation to your feet, and then just a deep squat. You wanna be actively pressing the PVC pipe to the sky, and then drive yourself up, squeeze your glutes, flex your quads. The whole idea of any dynamic warm-up is to prime as many muscles as possible and hit as many different movement patterns as possible. So we have the overhead squat, which bleeds right into our overhead side bend. So you can see I'm closing my hands up. There's two different ways we can go about this here. I like to start with a very narrow stance, like Superman, like I'm punching a hole in the roof, my ribs are down, and then I'm going to drive my feet into the ground, flex my quads, and then get a side bend. I'm stretching this opposite opposing side. Then we'll come back erect, deep breath, exhale, and then side bend the other direction. If you want to intensify this stretch, you will stagger your stance. So if I have my right foot back, I'm going to side bend to my left. And just think about opening up rib to hip. You're opening, expanding that area, lengthening that area. Same exact thing for the left side. High overhead reach, and expanding those ribs, rib-hip distance. Next movement we're looking at, guys, is an inline lunge. You're gonna take the PVC pipe just like this. You're gonna put it behind your head. The other hand, knuckles to your tailbone, hand facing away. You're gonna stagger your stance. This is a classic inline lunge, making sure that you're keeping your spine nice and straight. It's a knee dominant movement. The overhead squat is a hip dominant movement. The inline lunge is a knee dominant movement. This is not anything fancy here, just making sure that we're keeping the spine nice and straight. Next thing we're taking a look at is a lat stretch. Wide base with your feet, arms locked out. You're gonna get your head through the window, through the sides of your biceps here. You're gonna push into the ground and stretch out your lats. And then you can also rock left, rock right. Remember, you're trying to lengthen that area on the lats, the back side of the ribs. There's really no wrong way to go about it, but I will make sure that you're mixing up your grip position. So right over left, left over right. Next thing we're taking a look at, guys, overhead side lunge. So we're gonna set up, you can go like that overhead, this like a snatch grip, or you can go narrow. For the sake of teaching today, I'm gonna go narrow. Wide base with your feet. The entire sole of your shoe stays flat to the ground. One leg bends, one leg goes straight. And you're gonna alternate sides. Getting those hips back and down. Overhead reach, high overhead reach. Super good exercise if you're looking to wake up the erectors in the spine. Remember, and you can see I'm sitting my ass back, chest forward. Next movement we're looking at is pretty basic. Behind the neck, overhead press. So basically I'm back racking the bar, keeping my ribs down and pressing overhead. Like I said,
You pick the amount of repetitions, whatever you feel is clever, whatever is going to get you warmed up and prepped for the day at hand, okay? So behind the neck, overhead press. Moving along, Romanians. Romanian. So we have 2-leg Romanian, we have single leg Romanian, but we're gonna add an overhead extension. So feet are gonna be right below your hips. You're gonna go into a classic hinge pattern. Remember, you're searching for that stretch in your hamstrings. When you feel like you got a full stretch in your hamstrings while maintaining a straight back, you're gonna go into overhead extension. Keeping the chin tucked down. And then stand. So hinge, overhead extension, hinge, overhead extension, and I mean really reach without changing the integrity of your spine. So we have 2-leg Romanian. If you want to up the ante on this or you want to progress to the next level, you can go single leg Romanian. So soft bend of the down leg, you're going to hinge. I'm still searching for that stretch in my hamstring, active right glute, overhead extension. Stand tall, hinge, stretch the left hamstring, activate the right glute, overhead extension. And if you want to, you can stay here for a while. I encourage some of my clients to get to the bottom of that movement and just stay there for a while. It seems like no matter where I go, there are trucks or things making noise in the background. But at this point, who gives a shit? Overhead extension, and then stand nice and tall. What am I missing, love? I got everything?
Did you do the internal rotations?
Oh, internal rotation. So the last thing we're gonna cover today is an internal rotation. You're gonna take the stick, the high end to the sky. You're gonna go behind your head, grab just like this. So it's very similar to how we set up for the inline lunge. I'm gonna use my top hand to pull up on my bottom arm. And I'm gonna creep that hand up my back. If you have really terrible internal rotation, be careful with this movement because it's not too friendly on the shoulder. Don't rush anything. I'm pulling upward with his hand. Don't force anything. I guess we're just gonna have to make do with cars making noise in the background. Hopefully it's still a good quality video. If you guys learned something, don't forget, hit that like button. If you're brand new here, subscribe. I'm KG. This is Rough to Be Buff TV. I'll see you guys next time.